Okay.
Good night, sir.
Okay, good night, Chimo.
We gonna worship. Oh, say we gonna worship, yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna worship. Sovereign God, you are the morning light. Everything that you do right. All power belongs to you, so you know we gotta worship you. My daily bread, the living word, the best name I've ever heard. Healing powers, they flow through you, so you know we gotta worship you.
We worship you, we worship you. Sovereign God, we wanna worship you. We worship you, we worship you. Mighty God, we wanna worship you. We praise you, we praise you. Awesome God, we wanna praise you. We praise you, we praise you. Sovereign God, we wanna praise you.
Father God, you are El Shaddai, and we bow at your feet, Adonai. No one else come close to you, so you know we gotta magnify you. Your loving arms, they comfort me when the pressures of life fall on me. Thank you, God, for the things that you do, so you know we gotta worship you.
We worship you, we worship you. Sovereign God, we wanna worship you. We worship you, we worship you. Mighty God, we wanna worship you. We praise you, we praise you. Awesome God, we wanna praise you. We worship you, we worship you. Mighty God, we wanna praise you.
In everything we magnify Adonai. Lord, we lift your name on high, on high.
We worship you, we worship you. Sovereign God, we wanna worship you. We worship you, we worship you. Mighty God, we wanna worship you. We praise you, we praise you. Awesome God, we wanna praise you. We worship you, we worship you. Mighty God, we wanna praise you.
All right, just give me until give them 3 minutes more. I think we have a few more to join. Let's give me 3 minutes more, then we're going to start. All right, there's 3 minutes more.
We gonna worship. Oh, say we gonna worship, yeah, yeah, yeah. We gonna worship. Sovereign God, you are the morning light. Everything that you do right. All power belongs to you, so you know we gotta worship you. My daily bread, the living word, the best name I've ever heard. Healing powers, they flow through you, so you know we gotta worship you. life all on me. Thank you, God, for the things that you do. So you know we gotta worship you.
We worship you.
We worship you. Sovereign God, we wanna worship you.
We worship you.
We worship you. Mighty God, we wanna worship you.
We praise you.
We praise you. Awesome God, we wanna praise you.
We worship you.
We worship you. Mighty God, we wanna praise you. In everything we magnify Adonai. Lord, we lift your name on high. On high.
We worship you.
We worship you. Sovereign God, we wanna worship you.
We worship you.
We worship you. Mighty God, we wanna worship you.
We praise you.
We praise you. Awesome God, we wanna praise you.
We worship you.
We worship you. Mighty God, we wanna praise you.
All right. Good night. Good night to you all. I just want to welcome our newest student. This is, let me see if I can get it right. It's, okay, me now. It's Triciana. Am I correct?
Not Tristiana, sir. Tristiana.
Triciana.
Tristiana.
Triciana.
Tristiana.
Triciana.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, Triciana. Blake, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Welcome to CDP Lazarus Services Human and Social Biology class. And of course, I am proud to say it is the home of grade 1 students, because last year we celebrated great awards from our students who have done well. And I sincerely hope that those who are doing the exam this year will also do well as well. And I know that you will do well when your time should come. All right. Good evening also to those persons who are viewing us live on the YouTube channel. We're just giving a treat today. Don't think that's going to be forever, because it will not be forever. We will not be streaming live publicly. After this, we'll be going straight into our private stream. And of course, we will definitely make available to you the link. And that is based on conditions applied, right? So it's a condition applied, strictly condition applied for the next viewing. All the students who are supporting or supporting CDP Labs will be given that email link. Of course, our style that we begin with our devotion. And so we're going to start off with devotion. We will have listened to a lively song, and we're going to pray first and invite the presence of God into our midst. And normally, I usually encourage the students to, read from the book of Proverbs. It is filled with a lot of counsel. Any issues that you have and need advice, you can consult the Proverbs. And the father of Solomon, who wrote the Proverbs, he himself, consulted God before he did anything. So that's wisdom. So I want to first of all say a word of prayer, and then we're going to get into today's 6th Proverbs chapter 6. We'll not go to the entire book, just a few verses, and then we'll get straight into the human and social biology class. Of course, last week we started looking at Could somebody in the class tell us what we started looking at? Could somebody tell us what we started to look at? What did we start looking at? Anybody? Samaya, what did we start to look at? What did we look at last week? Kimola, what did we look at last week? Anybody?
Pollutants, sir.
Come again, Samaya? Didn't hear that?
Pollutants.
Pollutants. Very good. All right. So we looked at pollutants last week, and of course, we're going to continue on section E of the syllabus. But without any further ado, let us invite the presence of God into our midst. Let us pray. Loving Father who art in heaven, hallowed be your name, O God. Father, I am not perfect, neither am I worthy to be speaking on behalf of these students. But dear Lord, we thank you for who you are. You are a God of love. You are love. And so we ask you for the forgiveness for our sins that we have trespassed against you, as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. Give you thanks, dear Lord, for the reward that you have brought to us this year, in the last year rather, in the exams for the students who sat the exams and did very well. And so we ask again tonight and for the rest of the year that you bless these students who are now going to sit the exam. Not for those only for CDP labs, but across the Caribbean. Pray, oh God, that you bless them, help them to study, help them to obtain understanding, that when they come to the exam, they remember that they have asked you, or they were being prayed for, and that you are the one blessing them, giving them the mental power to have that understanding, the knowledge and the wisdom to execute and bring glory and honor to your name. So be with us now, we pray. In Jesus' name. Amen. All right, so we're going to go to our Bible text for tonight, and then we'll do tonight's lesson. So, warning against folly. You know that folly means foolish, eh? Now, just want to read the first 5 verses, and if there's any of these verses that jumps out at you, maybe that's something that you need to consider, right? It says, my son, if you have put up security for your neighbor, if you have shaken hands in pledge for a stranger, you have been trapped by what you said. So in other words then, if you make a promise to someone, it's in your best interest to keep it. Don't make a promise to someone and then don't keep it. That's what it's saying. So be careful of what you promised. Be careful of what you promised to do. Because if you promised something and you don't keep that promise, it's not a wise thing. So be careful of what you promise. Ensnared by the words of your mouth. So do this, my son, to free yourself. Since you have fallen into your neighbor's hands, go to the point of exhaustion rather, and give your neighbor no rest. Allow no sleep to your eyes, no slumber to your eyelids. Free yourself like a gazelle from the hand of the hunter, like a bird from the snare of the fowler. Go to the ant, you sluggard. Consider its ways and be wise. It has no commander, no overseer or ruler, yet it stores its provisions in summer and gathers its food at harvest. So we're not speaking about not being lazy. We must be diligent. And you students are preparing for exams. You don't need your parents over your back, or your friends over your back, or your whosoever is there to support you. Nor me, your teacher over your back. The ants never have no overseer, no commander, no ruler. They knew what they had to do and got the job done. You have a job to do, get your job done. Right? So that's it for our devotion, and I sincerely hope that you take the opportunity to read over that Bible text and learn something from it. All right, so tonight we're going to go further now into, we're going to continue from where we left off. We have, I'm not sure I'm going to use a booklet tonight, but as of next week, definitely we're going to be going straight into the booklets. So you can continue working inside. So we're going to split in the class. Maybe the first half an hour, you work on the booklets, and the next hour we teach, and so forth. All right. Keep you using your information. All right. So can somebody pronounce that big word for me, please? Can somebody pronounce that big word for me? You guys are hearing me?
Is it eutrophication? Yes,
Right.
sir. I'm saying if it's pronounced eutrophication.
Okay, yes, and you're near to it. Yeah. And boys want to try again? I think you do a better job than me there, though. I think you do a better job than me. Right? Anyone else? Samaya, Kimola, want to try? I know that Maxwell is on YouTube tonight. She decides to go on YouTube tonight.
Eutrophication.
Yeah, go ahead, Samaya. I heard it. Go ahead.
Eutrophication.
Nutrification. Thank you very much. All right. I want us to look at the picture. Don't read this part. Let's look at the picture and tell me what you see. Tell me what you see right here. Tell me what you see there. Why is it interpret the picture? What is on the picture there? Tell me what you see on the picture there. What you see on the picture? What you see on the picture? Anybody? It's an interactive class. It's not Mr. Bernard alone who speaks. It's an interactive class. So just tell me what you see on the picture. Those who are on YouTube, you can share the link with your friends tonight. Tonight we're giving away this class. You can share the link with them, no problem. But next week they will not be so lucky. All right. Could you just yeah, so go ahead and tell me. Okay, Makeda says she sees sunlight. Makeda could put it, you could put it in the chat, Makeda. You could put it in the chat, put it in the chat, put it in the YouTube chat. Put your response in the YouTube chat, Makeda. All right, so Makeda says she sees sunlight. She sees nitrogen. I don't know how she sees nitrogen, but she sees the word nitrogen, and she sees the word phosphorus. We can't see nitrogen, we can't see phosphorus, but we see that the words are there, yes. And by the way, what is nitrogen and what is nitrogen? Anybody know what nitrogen is? What is nitrogen? Anybody? Samaya, Christiana, Kimola?
Gas.
It's a gas. Good. It's a gas. All right. Nitrogen is a gas, right? And it's coming from where are these gases coming from? According to the picture, where are these gases coming from?
Here, sir.
From the atmosphere.
The atmosphere. Okay, good. So from the atmosphere, from the air. Yes, good. Kimola, what about you? Kimola, what about you, Kimola?
Sir, repeat again, please.
Tell me what you see in the picture. Tell me what you see in the picture.
Plants and
Good.
oxygen.
Oxygen, all right. So plants, and we see oxygen. So another gas exists there. All right. Okay. Well, can you identify the name of the plant?
Can you repeat, sir?
Come again? What's it somewhere?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, just tell me the name of the plant that you see right here. So.
Seaweed.
All right. Well, this says grass. Well, that's a seaweed, fine. Okay, so
Dead grass.
yeah?
sedge grass or sedge grass.
Said grass, yeah. All right, nice. Okay, all right. Good. So it says the sediments from the land block the sunlight. Good. So they are saying that the sediments, see here, from the land, it blocks the sunlight. Good. And sunlight is needed. What is sunlight needed for, by the way? Anybody know what is sunlight needed for? I mean, you live in a real world. Yes, Trisha, go ahead. You have an answer, go ahead. Miss Blake, go ahead.
Never mind, sir.
No, man, I mind. You give me an answer. You give me an answer. Yeah, I mind. What we need sunlight for?
For growth, vitamin what?
Growth,
D.
yeah. Vitamin D, yes, of course. What do the plants? Let's carry it close. What do plants need sunlight for?
To produce.
Yeah, but to produce what?
I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, no problem. At least you're trying.
For photosynthesis.
All right, so chemolysis for photosynthesis, and that's you are so correct.
I
So
was going to say that, but I wasn't sure if I would be right.
Miss Blake, you must follow your mind, man. I know you was going to say, but you must follow. That's why I tell you, say it. As I said, don't say never mind, I mind.
Okay, sir.
You must have confidence and believe in yourself, man. All right? Believe in yourself and have confidence and believe in yourself. Good. All right, so we're going to proceed further from here. All right. So we see Makeda giving us a response. Makeda says energy. Well, they get energy from the sunlight and to produce food from photosynthesis. All right. Good. I will see. All right. So let us go over to the definition right here. But by the way, what is about this picture right here? What's about it? So can someone say what you observe about this picture right here? What you observe about that picture right here?
The plant is growing from the water, sir.
Right. Plant growing from the water. Okay, what color is it?
It's green.
Green. All right. You ever see something like that when you go to the country or anything?
Yes, sir. Like swamp areas.
Like swamp areas. Okay. All right. So look like a swamp area. All right. I don't want you to pay close attention to this green part right just now, according to the information here, all right, so we see a text coming in here. Okay, so somewhere it says photosynthesis. All right, good. Yes, Miss Blake, you can write the notes as I said here. You can write the notes. All right, good. So it says excessive richness of nutrients in a lake or other body of water. So you have excessive nutrients, or excessive richness of nutrients. So all of these things that you mentioned, in the nitrogen, the phosphorus, and so forth, it goes there, it accesses the water in excess. And while there's too much thing not good for you, right? Too much, you know, you have good food in front of you, you know, good food. Like me sometimes, I tend to eat on YouTube.
Excuse me, sir. That's the definition for eutrophication, right?
Yes. All right. No, I tend to eat a lot of food. I'm not lying to you. Sometimes I belly feel. We can't move. So this is something I'm feeling I have a eutrophication in my belly. So excess richness of nutrients in a lake or other body of water, frequently due to runoff from the land. So runoff from the land. And this causes a dense growth of plant life. Good. So you see what is going to be happening here. what other organisms that may be in this body of water might be competing with the plant for oxygen and competing with the plant for other nutrients. So it creates a competition right there. Good. Sorry about that. Yes. So when we talk about nutrification, we're talking about too much rich nutrient enter into a body of water. And you know the source of that, it basically coming out from the land. It's a runoff from the land. So when rainfall and so forth, it just come down into the water, maybe into the rivers, into the swamps, into the lakes, etc. Good. So that now will cause a dense growth of plant life. In other words, a lot of plants will start to grow now. Excess amount of plants is going to grow. And if an excess amount of plants is going to grow, they're going to compete with the fishes as well. And the fishes might not get enough food. So fishes are going to die. Good, they are going to die. Make sense? All right. So it's a good thing. There must be some balance in the habitat. So we try not to let any try to keep the environment free from this excess nutrient running off from the soils itself. So you end up losing the food, losing the habitat, and oxygen production. All right. All right, so let's move on from here. Now, in the syllabus, I talk about controlling pollution. Controlling pollution. Can somebody read one of the first things they can do to control pollution, especially water pollution? That's one of the first things you have to do to prevent or to control water pollution. It's the first thing. Anybody?
Here's
Sir.
information from ct.gov.
Go ahead.
Sir, prevent groundwater contamination.
Yes. When they say groundwater, what are they talking about? Thank you very much, Kimona. When they say groundwater, what are they talking about? Groundwater. What are they talking about? Anybody here did geography? Anybody did geography? Well, the word groundwater suggests. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, could you shed some light on what the groundwater is for us then? Could you shed some light what groundwater is for us?
Sir, I think groundwater is like the underground cracks under the ground.
Cracks under the ground?
Yes, sir. Or spaces in the sand, I think. I'm trying to remember, sir. From a study on the text and groundwater, sir, it kind of ease up.
It's really water underneath the earth's surface. And some countries like Turkey and Caicos, they depend a lot on groundwater. So people have well. So let's talk about well. Well is an example of groundwater, right? So people dig and dig and dig till them start to get water coming up. And that's why they pump their water from the well. But so some countries depend on groundwater, and therefore you have to protect it then. But so that you keep it clean. And that's why when they're building pits and so forth, you have to be careful how deep you dig that pit as well, because if that pit end up, break away or whatever it is, might contaminate the groundwater itself. Right. So it's really, as it suggests, is water under the ground. You follow? Water under the ground. So a lot of persons depend on groundwater. All right. Okay. What other ways they can control water pollution? There is in front of me.
Sir, don't dispose of your waste properly and don't dump chemicals in drains or underground.
Okay. Very good.
Reduce
Yeah, go ahead. Reduce what?
non-point runoff.
Reduce non-point runoff. All right. Okay. Also, Tracy and Hunter says they must treat the water. Okay, Tracy and Hunter. Could you tell us where you're from, Tracy and Hunter? Could you tell us where you're from? Good evening to Tracy and Hunter. Could you just tell us where you're from, please, and thank you. All right. So, okay, good. And what else is there? There's the next thing. What else is there? So Tracy says treat the water. Yeah. And further along in the lesson, we're going to talk about ways of treating the water. Okay. What else is there? There's a third one. Go ahead. Anyone else? Nothing else? It's there in front of you. All right. So reuse treated wastewater. Yeah, go ahead.
Runoff.
Yeah, go ahead, Miss Blake. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm here. Go ahead. We're not hearing you. Okay, Tristan from Portmore. Welcome to CDP Lazarus Services. Welcome. All right. So your reuse treated wastewater. And good evening.
Reduce non-point runoff. Yes, sir. I said reduce in a
Well, yeah, we're hearing you now. Yeah, go ahead. We're hearing you. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I was saying reduce non-point
Non-point runoff.
runoff. So you have there.
Good. All right. Very good. So, but for us to reduce, we have to know what it is too. We have to know what non-point runoff is. Because you can't reduce it when you don't know, can we? So what is non-point runoff? I see some of my friends was here last year. Some of our friends who did very well. Vivette, people like Vivette. Well, good night, Vivette. Happy New Year to you as well. Thank you for visiting us. I know you don't want it. I know you have done it and did it well already. And congratulations to you again, Vivette. All right. We had some lovely time last year at fun time, and those fun times will be coming back. So what we mean by non-point runoff? Anybody want to tell us what that is? Non-point?
In my own words, sir,
Yes.
I think maybe like preventing the water from running to unnecessary places where probably it might just settle there. I'm not sure if I'm
All right. Okay. Nice try. As you were suggesting, you can't allow where water might escape into where water storage. That's a runoff. What is a runoff? So anywhere so water is able to escape into a place where water is, you have to know try to create a border that doesn't exist. For example, all right, it says that it says non-point sources of runoff can be large urban, suburban, or rural areas. In these areas, rainwater and irrigation wash chemicals into local streams. So that what type of pollution would this be based on our last lesson? Someone, good try, Miss May. Not far from the fact. Someone, what one of the concepts we look at last in terms of pollution? If we're talking about rainwater and irrigation, wash off chemicals into local.
Wait, sir, can you repeat what you said before?
Tell me one of the words, one of the type of pollutions we looked at last week, which will associate itself with this. Non-point sources of runoff, which can be large urban, suburban, or rural areas. And in these areas, rainfall, irrigation rather, wash chemicals into local streams. Which type of pollution would this be associated with? Or pollutant rather. Yeah, go ahead. Our source of pollution. Go ahead, someone. Kimola too. And of course, all right, so we're getting some response here from, good night, Teresa. Happy New Year to you. And Vivette says she enjoyed the classes. And you missed the classes, Vivette, but we can come in our Zoom class one night and give the students some inspiration. That would be nice. All right, and Vivette is saying that you should listen and learn from Mr. Bernard, and I can guarantee you will come out with a grade 1 or 2. Well, thank you very much, Vivette, for that. I was telling them earlier that we had a Cat1+ time, and they will do well this year. They will do well this year. All right. So I still want to hear the answer. We looked at air pollution. We looked at domestic pollution, rather. We also looked at agricultural pollution. And there's another one. But which of the three that we looked at last week associates with the non-point sources of runoff? So Maya, Kimola, you were here last week, and so is Makeda. Makeda, they mentioned to us. Nobody remember? Simoya, you remember?
Yes, sir.
Well, to tell me which of them it is. Was it domestic, agriculture, which of the two?
Sir, for non-point,
Yeah, non-point runoff.
I don't know. I don't think it would be domestic.
So if it's not domestic, what would it be then?
Agriculture, sir?
Agriculture. Very good, Kimola. It's agriculture. All right. So agriculture, because when you hear irrigation and the chemicals wash off into the local streams, agriculture that. Good. And then you hear runoff from non-point sources now includes lawn fertilizers, car exhaust, and even spilled gasoline from a car. Right? All this information is in Google. Good. So, and farms are a huge non-point source of runoff. The farm itself is a huge non-point source of runoff. So you know, say you probably have to go when you're developing a farm, ensure that the area that you choose is not close to a stream or any source of water that serves other habitats and even for drinking purposes. Right? So even when land developers are doing certain things, and if the government should decide that they are going to give the license to the farmer to plant certain things at a certain place, they are going to have to inspect the site to see if his activities will affect drinking water. And if it will affect drinking water, then the government is not going to allow that. You understand? They have to protect the habitat and those who use the water for health purposes. All right? Good. And of course, you can work with nature to treat sewage, and we're going to learn more about that as we go along. Reduce air pollution. How can we reduce air pollution? Anybody have an idea? How can we reduce air pollution? How can we reduce air pollution?
Like burning less garbage.
Burning less garbage. Okay, Kimola, that's very good. Burn less garbage. All right. So we can burn less garbage. Okay. That's one. Another way we can reduce air pollution. I mean, you're free to make suggestions. Right? I'm going to ask person to share the link with your friends tonight. Those are on YouTube. Share the link. All right. So Vivette is saying good night to everyone. All the best. and she's saying that she's wishing you guys all the best in your exams this year. And, you know, trust me, with the help of God, you're going to do very well. Right? So the question is here, though. We heard one suggestion as how we can reduce air pollution by burning less garbage. All right. So, is there any other solution? Another way we could reduce air pollution? Yes, Samoya, go ahead. Go ahead, Samoya. I'm listening.
It can reduce air pollution by stop traveling unnecessarily.
Yeah,
Burning cars unnecessarily.
exactly. Stop traveling unnecessarily. That is true. Because if you have when you have too many cars on the road these days, it contributes greatly to your pollution. So we can carpool. You know, if you can carpool meaning that your neighbor is, so for example, me, you know, if I was driving and my colleague is going to the same place I'm going, I can decide, say, all right, I drive this week, so you don't need to drive. I take it to work and take it back home. So we reduce air pollution by one car. So if everybody was supposed to carpool, they would have reduced the amount of vehicles on the road to give off the car exhaust. So that's an excellent suggestion. All right, so Makeda is saying that we cut down the use of plastic bags. All right, good, yeah, of course. But, well, how does cutting down the use of plastic bags, you know, how does that help us? It is a fact that if we cut down the use of plastic bags, we can reduce air pollution. We have to, don't just say cut down the use, but you must explain what you mean by that. Right,
Yes, sir. And stop cutting down trees too, because it helps to clean up.
Stop cutting down the trees. So we must reduce deforestation. Good. We must reduce deforestation. And we must practice the 3 R's: resource use, reuse, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Remember that one. Good. All right. So we're going to now turn our attention to the water cycle. We'll turn our attention now to the water cycle. So I want you to look at a picture, and students, use of pictures are very powerful, not only in teaching, but also in learning. You know, normally when my students, I normally ask them, when you go outside there under the sun, you don't see no words out there, do you? You see the words out there? You see words out there? Hello? Am I the only one there? Do you guys see words out there? Samoya, Tristiana?
No, sir.
Exactly, no words. No words. You just see, for me, it's a picture out there. Because when you go there, you take your camera and snip. It's a picture I get back. It's the same thing, no words. But it is we human beings who give them names. So don't be afraid to use pictures as a part of your study. When you study, you must have a lot of pictures, right? That's why I use the pictures to show you the effect of it. Now, what can you identify in this picture right here? Tell me what's happening in this picture. I want you to interpret and tell me, what is this picture saying to you? What's the picture saying to you? What is it? It's actually a diagram, right? What is it saying to you? What is it actually saying to you? Yeah, go ahead, Tristan.
Water or something like that. Part that said storage in ice and snow, and so from the
what is being
ice,
stored there? What do you think is being stored there?
gas.
Gas? All right. So you think gas is being stored there? Okay.
Because yes, sir. Because from Liquid to gas is sublimation, right? Am I right?
Liquid to gas. No. Sublimation. It means solid. It means from solid to gas. From solid to gas, not liquid to gas. Liquid to gas is when you boil, when you evaporate. Evaporation. Liquid to gas is evaporation.
Yeah. From solid to, yes, evaporation. So yeah, that's what's happening there.
All right, so you see evaporation taking place. All right, okay. All right, anybody else? What is this happening there? This is the water cycle we're talking about. Because when you're going to draw the water cycle in the exam or label a diagram of the water cycle, you have to be able to identify what the nouns that are there, the verbs that are there, because the earth is made up of nouns and verbs. Yeah? Believe it or not. So you must be able to identify the nouns that are there, the verbs that are there. Okay? Can anybody identify? So sublimation that you see right there is from solid to gas. That's why I say the snow is solid, isn't it? Isn't it solid? Isn't it solid, Trisha?
Yes, it is, sir.
Good. So solid to gas, sublimation, solid to gas. All right.
Yes, sir.
Good. What does this see right there? What does this see right there? You don't see anything else there?
Sir, meanwhile the water being evaporated, the rain is falling and it's putting back the water back into the
I like
ocean.
the word back. Like the word putting back. So evaporation takes place, and then now we recognize now that that's why it's called a cycle. That's putting back. That's why it's called a cycle. Well, let's go through it together then, right? Let's go through it together. So let's start from the point of, we could look at the point of the rainfall. It's another word for rainfall is precipitation. Good. Precipitation is when it starts to fall or snows. So if it's snowing or rain is falling, it's precipitation. So when the rain falls, it catches on the hill or the mountains and it runs off into the streams, lakes, and the rivers. And I'm sure you know that because you see it happen. Especially those persons who live in areas like the Blue Mountain in Jamaica, or areas near to the Blue Mountain in Jamaica. You will see the rain run off of the hill or run off of the mountain and go straight into the lakes or the rivers. Good. So those who know geography will have an edge when it come on to the water cycle. Right? But you might ask what have to do with biology. There's a lot to do with biology because it is dealing with life. Good? Study of life, right? Now, but the water is actually stored. But the stored water eventually actually runs off into the what? The ocean, into the sea. Good? And then when the sun comes out, of course, naturally, and the heat penetrates the body of water, some of it is going to evaporate and turn to gas, then stored in the atmosphere. Now, when the cloud becomes gray, it becomes unsaturated. So therefore, you know that eventually it's going to what? Condensation will take place, rainfall will take place, right? So if ever recognize when you're driving sometime, where you're coming from, there was no rain, but at a certain spot, rain is falling. When you leave, rain not fall. It's called somewhere tell me that. Yes, somewhere I love geography back then. Right? Convectional rainfall. Now, am I correct somewhere? Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Remember with me, I have a book stuff, right? Good. So when you talk, always make sure you study the diagram, make sure you know it. I would love for you, say it's a picture like this. You print it, put it on a cardboard, and you cut it out like pieces of a puzzle. And you put it back together for yourself. You know, have something fun, be creative, and it help you to, and don't label it. I don't like when you have your pictures, I prefer you use unlabeled pictures to study. Why? Because you must be able to identify and state what happened here and there. So when you have pictures, don't label it, make it unlabeled. Make sense? Because you must know it from here. Know it from here. So don't print one labeled picture, print an unlabeled one. And you can name the different parts of it and state what happens here. So for example, you can say evaporation take place here, condensation took place here, rainfall take place, runoff take place. So you must know it. The idea is to know it and be able to use it when it's necessary. All right. All right. So we're going to go straight into water purification. Water purification. So we looked at, what was the first thing we looked at as this class started? Let's recap a bit. What's the first concept we looked at when the class just started?
Effect of pollution, eutrophication.
Very good, Tristiana. Nutrification. And what are some of the pointers about nutrification? What are some of the pointers that came out? Excess what?
Excess nutrients.
Excess nutrient, rich nutrients. Good.
Yeah.
And it runs off into the local streams, right? Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
All right. So what next to do? What other subtopic we looked at after that? What other subtopic did we look at after that?
Controlling pollution.
Controlling pollution. Right. Good. And now we are now going to water purification. Very important. So I'm going to play a video for you. Listen to it. Okay. I see it answer Kim. Miss Maxwell. Good. Very good, Miss Maxwell. All right. So we're going to know, I'm going to play a video for you now. Listen to it keenly because I'm going to be asking some questions on the video. So make sure you listen to it. Okay, so Makede said losses of food as well. Losses of food, habitat, and of course, oxygen. Good. All right, so I'm going to play this video for you now. So ensure that you are listening to the video.
How does drinking water get to your home?
Wow, I'm not really sure. Probably through a series of pipes.
Pipes.
Pipes
and all that?
Through pipes.
I have no clue.
I assume it comes up through the pump in the ground?
Through a filter?
Gets to a house with a pump, water pump.
Nature. So beautiful and calm.
Hey, Splash, did you know that reservoirs like this are one of the places where we get our drinking water?
Wait a minute there. You don't want to drink this stuff. I'm telling you, I've been in a lot of water, including this reservoir. You know what's in there? Fish. You know what they do, right? They...
Oh, Splash, don't even go there.
You know, a lot happens to this water before we can drink it.
You're telling me? Hey, I've been cleaned up a few times.
American Water's experts work round the clock, removing bacteria, viruses, micropollutants, and other harmful particles from the water you drink. They do such a good job that American Water often provides water service that is better than what the government requires.
The treatment process begins here, at the pumping station.
Pumps draw raw water from reservoirs, lakes, rivers, streams, wells, or underground aquifers. Water travels by pipeline from the pumping station to the treatment facility. The first step in the cleaning process removes sediment and particles from the water with the help of coagulants.
What?
Coagulants are chemicals that act like magnets. They cause particles in the water to stick together. These groups of particles are called flock.
Huh, I didn't know I had it in me.
American Water uses two common processes to separate and remove flock from water. One sinks flock to the bottom of a tank. The other method pumps air into the water and flock, causing residual particles to float to the top. The separation of water and flock is called clarification. With either method, the clarification process removes most of the flock from the water. The next step? Filtration.
Whoa! Hey, watch it! Wow, can a water droplet get a bruise? Sheesh! Ow! Wow, I just got pushed through layers of activated carbon, sand, and gravel. Please tell me I'm clean.
Sorry, Splash, you're not completely out of the water. You're filtered, but you might be infected with tiny microorganisms. Don't worry, disinfection doesn't hurt. Chlorine and ozone are just two of the ways we disinfect water at American Water.
I love chlorine. It's been disinfecting water and keeping me clean for over a century. But what's ozone?
Ozone is supercharged oxygen. These bubbles scrub and disinfect. Viruses, germs, and fungi don't stand a chance.
Whoa, hey, that tickles! Stop it already! I'm gonna wet my pants!
Hey, Splash, guess what? You're finally drinking water, ready for distribution to homes and businesses.
Are you sure? How do you know?
American Water's certified operators and water quality specialists test and monitor water throughout the treatment process, from source to tap. In fact, we conduct thousands of tests on your drinking water.
I'm certified, verified, decontaminized, and feeling fine.
So I say thanks to this company for that video. It's not our video, but it was a video that I thought was simple to have an idea as to how a large scale water purification takes place. So here's the big question. What's the first stage in American water purification? What's the first thing that they did? Let's see what you can recall by this one watch of the video. I'm going to play the second time, but go ahead, Tristan.
Collusion, sir?
Yes,
coagulation.
coagulation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, and afterwards, frustration, that word.
Nice try. Yes, nice try. All right, and after that, what's next?
After that, then you have what the word again? I don't quite remember the word, but after that word, then you have filtration, and after that, it is used by extremely high amount of oxygen called ozone or something like that.
Yeah.
Or ozone.
Yes. And what was the use?
And yes. And that's it for me.
Right. Good. Very good. Good. Very good. So you see now what you're saying? Huh? Doesn't matter where we start, right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Excellent. Another two, Kimola or Samoa, are you Tracy and Hunter or Kim? I know Vivet is one of our VIP visitors, and Teresa too. Okay, so Makeda is helping you now. He says sedimentation. That's the one that you missed out. Sedimentation, right? Good. So we're gonna watch over the video. Apart from calling these words, you need to know what they are. You know, it's good to call the words, but you need to know what exactly these are. You know, what are they? You know, what are they? So calling the words is just one thing, but what are they? What do you mean by these big words? You know, these big words. They must have some meaning. Good. You can look it up. You know, everything upon Google. So you can look it up. What do you mean by correlation? Could somebody look up that word for me, please? Could somebody look up that word for me? Don't watch about the video again. Come on, research time. When you do research, it helps you as well. Okay. What do we mean by that? What do you mean by that? Anybody? What does that word mean? It coagulates. And it has different definitions as well. So we want to see how that definition applies. When it was coagulating, what actually took place when it was coagulating? Coagulating.
It's the process by which you use to remove waste, solid waste from water.
Solid waste from water, basically, yes. All right. So, because remember, I said your water come from various sources, come from the lakes, come from the rivers, come from the sea, wherever. So when it's collected in that, the water station like NWC in Jamaica here, and American Water in the United States. By the way, in NWC, where you have the Mona Dam, for those persons who live in Legally, right? Or near the University of the West Indies of Jamaica. So you have Mona Dam. When that water is collected, there's a grill. They have a grill. So that grill now basically like keep out the large materials like the dead animals, the dead animals, keep out the dead animals, and keep out the all sort of things that people might throw into the water, the debris basically. Keep that grill, keeps it out. Good. And then now, of course, when it flows into the station now, then of course, any other tiny part of that pass through the grill now is going to be coagulated. So basically, they bring those solids together. It's a bringing of the solids. As a gentleman, it works like a magnet. Good. Pulls them in one area, and then that F word now. Actually, I know that F word there, right? Good. I will try to pronounce my course, but so I just learn to spell it. Right, mom?
Yes.
You want to curse about it on YouTube tonight? So I got to spell it. All right. Mark, you can type it into Google and then pronounce the phone. That's what I know. So I'm not in the business of giving notes to students really, because the truth is the information is on you is on Google. Make sense? It's on Google. So why do we need to give you all that? But what I do is to tell you how to manipulate the information to become easy for you to understand. That's my responsibility. Make sense? But understand that? But not pay me the money. All right, so basically what it does is it pulls it down. Good. So when you make like carrot juice, and you say with the carrot juice, you put the carrot juice in a glass. What you observe when you put the carrot juice in a glass? What you guys observe? You put the carrot, you make carrot juice, and you pour it out in a glass, and you leave the glass to settle. What happens? Just go ahead and explain what you're going to say. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. Blake. You're going to give an answer. Go ahead.
You see the fine particles from the carrot. It is circulating. In the liquid, in the juice, And sometimes it's there for a while, it will settle that you see all of the the particles settling at the bottom.
Good. So
So
what?
for instance, sir, I think like
Yeah, go ahead.
I think I don't want to call the word because I don't want to curse in a bad way, but that word, sir,
Yes, that word. Yes,
it's
that
like
word. Yes.
in with co colligation, that word, sir, it would be like the first step where you get rid of the large amount of solid. Then for the second word, no, that word is like
Yes.
you going over that water a second time, like a second filter then.
Oh,
To,
second strain in the water. Yes.
yes, sir. So like when you strain after you blend the juice, you strain it, and then that first strain of juice that you strain, sir, and you throw it in a cup, you see all of the fine particles. But to get rid of those particles, sir, you would have strain it again.
Yes. Good.
So that's
Yes.
my understanding. Sir.
Okay. All right. Very good. Very good analogy. I like that analogy. Good. All right. Good. All right. So taking some stuff from YouTube. So Makeda says that word is where solids are from larger clusters to be removed from water. Good. And then Tracer says particle accumulating at the bottom, that what you were seeing right there. And then Makeda went back and say it settles to the bottom. Yes. And then of course Tracian says the sediment fall to the bottom. Very good. So we see sedimentation taking place. So you have to, so when you answer the question as to describe water purification on large scale, you have to mention the C word, that F word, and the sedimentation as well. Good. And we know what filtration is basically, right? So as it says, the analogy you're using is a constant straining until there's no tiny particle left. So it's solid juice. So you're right. Very good. And Makeda is agreeing with you. Yes, true enough. What them never made that be the first step. Oh well, I don't know why. Okay. All right. So so filtration then takes place after that. We know what filtration is. We have filtered things on our own, and we know that takes place. And then now this disinfection, where they use both the chlorine or the ozone that you referred to before, and that is the large-scale water purification. Simple as that. Large-scale, describing large-scale water purification. Simple as that. And before I see I have a worksheet here. Let me see. This worksheet is about I'm going to ask to do the worksheet. I'm going to put a link in the chat. I'm going to put this link in the chat. All right. But after today, these worksheets will be added to our CDP books, workbooks that we use in class. All right. Persons on YouTube, I'm sorry, but the only persons get access to the worksheet. Things are different this year. So we want our YouTube persons to support us, fully support us. And we're just asking for a small, very small contribution of support. And I'll say more about that support later on in the live. Well, see, Teresa said they won't because the water is in constant motion and that it takes a bit more time. Okay, I guess Teresa is responding to Makeda's thing right here. So quite a lot of conversation going on in the in the live stream right there. All right, so I'm gonna, we can do this together if you don't mind. We can do it together tonight. Just select the correct response for the following situations and statements. The surest way of water purification is it filtration or boiling? What's the answer? The surest way of water purification is what? What's the answer? Is it filtration?
Boiling.
All right, Kimola says boiling. Everybody agree with her? Everybody agrees with her? Everybody agree with her? They agree with her, Kimola? I mean, Tristiana? That is boiling is the shortest way. Let's put boiling. The boiling, you agree it's boiling? It's a boiling, yeah?
Yes, sir. Boiling.
You know if you want to. All right, oral rehydration solution can be made by mixing what? Is it salt, sugar, salt, and water, or turmeric plus milk? Which one? Oral
Sugar,
rehydration.
salt, and water. Sir.
Sugar, salt, and water. All right. Somebody told me some time ago they're old school, so I would expect them to give the right answer, right? Right? Get an answer. Okay. Yeah, so sugar, salt, and water. So, and you might be wondering, what does this have to do with water purification? This has a lot to do with it. So just in case, yes, Tracy, and boiling is correct. So just in case that you might drink the water and it was contaminated, you're going to start to experience diarrhea, vomiting, and then your body now will become what? Dehydrated. So in order to rehydrate you, use an oral method. An oral means mouth. So you're going to receive it in your mouth, so you can make a solution of sugar, salt, and water. And that's a very good way of rehydrating the body. All right. Some natural sources of water are, what's the answer? Tap, tank, aquarium, pond, lake.
Lake and rivers.
Pond, lake, and rivers. All right, that's correct. Collecting rainwater for use when it doesn't rain is called what? Water purification or water harvesting?
Water harvesting.
Water harvesting.
Yeah, water harvesting. Some waterborne diseases are cholera, typhoid, dengue, malaria. Which one? Which one is it?
Cholera and
Typhoid.
yes, sir.
States where rainfall is less or scarce are, well, this we might not know. We'll have to take a guess on this one. What's the answer for this one? Anybody want to guess one? The first one, the last one?
Megahal.
So you're going for the first one?
Yes.
Right. If you get this wrong, no problem. All right. So this one said drag the correct name of the given procedures to purify water. All right. So what goes first? What goes first?
Keyword, sir.
Boiling.
Sure.
Chlorination. Chlorination.
Chlorination, yeah, sure. Chlorination wouldn't go first, no.
Boiling.
You sure it's boiling go first? Look at the picture, good. Look at the picture. Which of these four go first? Is it
Adding alum.
Adding alum. I'll choose adding alum. Trying to stick. Right, not sticking. All right, so we'll jog it to the right spot. Trying to figure out where it's supposed to go. One of them spots here. Let me try. All right, so draw the correct name to the given procedure to purify the water. So adding alum will go first. I'm trying to find where it's supposed to set it. Not sure where they have it here. Okay, right there. Now, if we add in the alum, oh, keep Makeda. Why you answer the question before I ask it? But I don't think that the ladies are watching it on YouTube, so they better get the answer. But when we talk about adding alum, what is it likened to in the large scale purification? What is it likened to?
Adding the extra oxygen.
No. You have to know what alum do. That is it. You have to know what. It's also don't call words in there. You have to know what the word mean too. What they mean by alum? What do they mean by alum? What is alum actually?
It change the color of the water, sir.
They change the color of the water.
To remove unwanted color.
Okay. All right. So by doing what? By doing what? It actually works as a. All right. So Teresa has given us the order of the answers. All right, Teresa. Okay. I see where you're coming from. Teresa has given us the order of the answers. Well. Okay. It acts as a, is the F word, it acts as the F word, but same as coagulation basically, right? Coagulation, you're correct, Makina. But that F word there is really what the alum is there for. All right. Now, we see Teresa say boiling is second. Is that correct? Would boiling be the next thing?
Yes, sir.
All right. So everybody say boiling. Okay. They say boil. Is what only semi I put in. What goes next? Is it chlorination or filtration?
Filtration.
Chloration, sir.
No, man, it has to be filtration. Because remember, you know, filtration came off of sedimentation and then disinfection, which include chlorination or ozone, right? So it would have been this. All right, let's see if we did well. Good job. 9 out of 10. Good job. So we got this one wrong. We predicted that we'd have got this one wrong. All right, so good. Very good. Good job, right? Very good job. So we go back to our PowerPoint and you did well. So we're going to watch our last video and that speaks about water purification. All right, did you like that little activity? Oh, well, Makeda, what you have to do is stretch your device. If you're using a phone, you stretch the device. Using a laptop, you try to zoom in on the page and you say much bigger. Or your full screen with the YouTube, full screen. All right, so remember I'm asking those persons who are on our YouTube channel to share the link so you can invite others to come and view this all-important lesson. Maybe some persons do an exam this month and you'll never know what this little bit of information can do for them. All right, so we're going to listen to this video now, and then we approach the closing of tonight's class.
Earth is a watery planet, yet water is a precious commodity. Can you guess why? This is because just 3% of all the water available on Earth is fresh water. The rest, 97%, is saline water of the oceans. Out of this 3%, the surface water of rivers, lakes, or springs forms an even smaller percentage. Fresh water from various sources may contain disease-causing germs and impurities. Large-scale water purification is done before it reaches our homes. So, let's see the journey of water before it reaches our home. At the end of this module, you will be able to define and describe sedimentation, filtration, and aeration, describe the process of chlorination and adding disinfectants, describe the journey of water from the sources to our homes. Here is a simplified diagram of a water treatment plant. Fresh water from the rivers and lakes are taken through pipes to large water treatment plants for purification. In the first stage of purification, water is pumped and stored in large sedimentation tanks. Alum is commonly used as a coagulant which forces tiny particles of dirt to stick together.
So you hear that now? The alum is used for what? Same C word that Makeda gave. Excellent Makeda. Job well done. Coagulation. So you see, if we did the activity and you have heard it, that alum was added for coagulation. Good.
And settle down. In the second stage, water is carried from sedimentation tanks to the filtration tanks. Here, water is passed through the beds of charcoal, sand, and gravel. This process removes the remaining suspended impurities.
Please make note of what they can use to carry out the filtration. What are the three things that was mentioned a while ago to carry out the filtration? What are the three things that she mentioned? What are the three things she mentioned to carry out the filtration? She mentioned three things to carry out filtration. What are the three things?
Sand, charcoal, and gravel.
Good. Sand, charcoal, and gravel. Those three things are used to carry out filtration as well. So remember now, in the exam, they can ask you to describe large-scale water purification. A lot of points normally go for that. Good. So you must, an assignment just came to my mind. Yeah, this is how Mr. Bernard stay. A little idea just jump in my head and then just say, okay, you know, so here's the idea. Makeda, find yourself in Zoom next week, because I know you're one of those creative ones too. Everybody must build their water purification plant. Yes. We're going to do a presentation next week. Can't miss that. Can't miss that. I'm a serious Bill. You know, one of the secrets to success, and I hope that one night, I think Miss another one of our students, she made use of the strategy. At one point, she thought she wasn't going to do well in the exam, and she came out with a very good grade 2. And by using these models for study, it helps you a great deal. I'm actually talk about techniques and strategy, and this is why Vivette told you guys to listen to Mr. Bernard. So she came last year. She came through YouTube. She was watching the class, all the classes through YouTube. But we're not doing that this year though, and I'll say more and why. But we're still going to stream, but in a different way, right? But we're saying though, building the models help you to use your knowledge. It puts your knowledge in action. The more you can put the knowledge in action, is the longer it stays with you. Just like dialing a number. If every time you give out a number, you will not forget the number because you keep using the information. It's a constant use of information. It builds retention of the information. Retention means you remember it longer. So constant use of information is important. Bringing the knowledge to life. Don't just read and write it down. No, that don't work. Put the knowledge into action. That's the simple way. Build some models. Be creative now. Don't bring no picture, come show me. Get some juice boxes and build your stuff and be creative. I want some creative presentations next week. And I wanted to come back because after doing this lesson tonight, the learning takes place when you do the presentation, when you do the activities. And last week you saw that there's a space in the program for student presentations. Yes, Trishan, welcome to CDP Labs Digital Services. It's not all about the teacher, it's about the student. So ensure that you come with your creativity, build up your water treatment plant, and come and tell us about it, tell us what's going on, where what's happening, and etc. etc. Can't say me never tell you. All right, ensure that you do so. All right, so we're going to continue.
The third stage of purification process is aeration. Air is passed through the filtered water in the reservoir by a pump with air diffusers. The circulation of air reduces the concentration of taste and odor-causing substances. This process is known as aeration. Disinfecting is the first stage of the purification process. In this stage, water is carried from the aeration tank to the disinfectant tank. Adding disinfectants such as chlorine destroys disease-causing organisms in water. Ultraviolet radiation and oxidative chemicals such as potassium permanganate and ozone are also used for disinfecting water. What's next? Yes. Now the water is purified and ready to drink. This water is stored in the storage tanks and supplied in towns through underground pipes. Thus, water undergoes several processes before it reaches our taps as potable water. To make our tap water extra safe for drinking, we can follow some very simple methods in our kitchen. A simple filter directly fitted to the kitchen tap. Boiling. The process of killing harmful germs by boiling is called sterilization of water. Boiling the water for 1 more minute after it reaches a rolling boil makes it safe for drinking. Remember, if you need to use bottled water anytime, check for these. Bureau of Indian Standards BIS mark. The seal is intact and there is no leakage from the bottle. The manufacturing date and best before date. Crush or puncture the bottle after every use to ensure that the same bottle is not used to refill water again.
Thanks to Macmillan for this video as well. It's not this video does not belong to CDP Lazarus Services, so I want to say thanks to Macmillan. So we have come to the end of tonight's class, another class. So the biggest topic for tonight was really water purification, controlling pollution, and of course, nutrification. Good. We normally evaluate the class end of the session. I'd like to hear from our newest student first. We always target the new student first, Tristiana, so don't feel away. And we want to get a feedback from you tonight. How was your night? How was your first HSB class tonight? Go ahead.
Well, sir, to be honest, it was good, even better than I thought. Very organized, and it flowed freely, and I understand the information in the simplest form that was given through from the other students, and also, so it was good. It was good.
Thank you very much. Well, pray for me that I'll have that energy and that flow to this content, because to be honest with you, I cannot do it without the presence of God. All right. So
yes, sir, will do. Yes, sir.
All right. Samaya, how was class for you this evening? I know that you're having some technical difficulties, but nevertheless, you can go to the YouTube channel and you still have access to the remaining lesson. So, but how was it for you otherwise, Samaya?
It was good, sir.
It was good. All right, thank you very much for that. Kimola, how about you? How was it?
It was good, sir. I get to learn more about pollution because I would just think that pollution is just throwing bottles and stuff. So I got to dive deeper into the subject and understand better.
Okay, wait there. Thank you very much. Glad to see you, Beverly. Beverly says, thanks, sir, for all your advice. Last year, I got a grade 1. So we're still on our 100%. Thank you very much, Beverly. Beverly, thank you very much, Beverly. Could you tell us where you're from again, Beverly? Tell us where you're from. Thank you for joining us again tonight. And I'm very happy, to God be the glory. You have gotten a grade 1. You hear? All the advice, you must follow them. Can't lose. Cannot lose. Tell us where you're from again, Beverly. Tell us where you're from. And I'd like to hear from Makeda and Tracian. How was tonight's class? And everybody else is on YouTube. Tell us, how was tonight's class? How was tonight's class? I want to hear from them. All right. So you see, students, don't play the class. Do what you're supposed to do. I want the presentation next week, and I'm not joking. Don't mess up the week next week. Do make my week, do make my Thursday the best Thursday ever, because I'm looking for creativity, and I'm looking for some juicy presentations, and I must get those presentations. All right. You see, my students them come on and I'm still support because they know what God has done for them last year. So I'm saying to you, must follow Barbados. Okay. Well, people from Barbados. Thank you very much, Beverly. Thank you very much. And Beverly, tell the people from Barbados to join us, please. To come and join us. All right. And I'm very happy that you got a grade 1. Congratulations. And welcome back to CDP Labs Edu Services. All right. Welcome back. So Makeda said it was fun. All right. What do you say, Tracy? What do you say? So we got back 2 of our stunning performers, Beverly and Vivette was here tonight. Thank you very much, ladies, for coming back and supporting. And of course, really supporting. And I know that next year, Kimola going to get her 1. Tristiana going to get her 1 next year. But this year, Kimola going to get her 1. Samoy going to get her 1. Makeda going to get her 1. All of those who are doing HSB this year was going to get a grade 1. I'm quite sure. It was fun. We had a celebratory time last year. You know, we came back on YouTube and we talked about the experience. Makeda says, sir, I learned something new tonight. I learned about underground water. Okay, all right, good. Thank you very much. All right. So I'm excited to see the results next year. I hope you are excited to see the results. I am excited to see it. I'm looking forward to these exam results this year, August. I should be in my room, listening for the phone calls and say, yes, I got a grade 1. Sir, I got a grade 1. Because I know you get a grade 1. Thank you very much, Beverly. Thank you very much. And thank you very much again, Vivette. And thank you. So we're closing down the show tonight, night session. And I would like to say thanks again to the Insight. Okay, so Tracy says, Tracy says, very engaging. I'm feeling so happy tonight. I got this opportunity to join. You are doing a wonderful job. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much, Tracy, and thank you very much. And I must say, to God be the glory. Great things he has done. All right, just a bit of info. And I want to say thanks to the in-studio students, Kimola, Tristiana, and Samoya. Your contribution to the class was also excellent. And I want contribution next week, as in presentations. So I talk about presentations. Now, going forward though, there's a bit of information. So those in Zoom, first of all, the assignments must be done weekly.
Excuse me, sir.
Weekly.
Sir?
Yes, Samoya, go ahead, I'm listening.
Sir, for the presentation next week, I'm not sure if I'm going to be home next week.
You're not sure you're going to be what?
If I'm going to be home at that time.
No, are you going to be home 8 o'clock next week?
No, sir, as in like I'm in the country.
You're in the country. Well, you have to find a way. You have to find a way. And I'm going to tell mommy. So you have to find a way. Mommy will make sure that you'll be there. So you sort out your presentation. No excuses, okay? None at all.
Sir, I'm not with my mother.
Well, you're going to find a way. All right. Good. All right. So you guys must still do your assignments on a weekly basis. Once you're given access to the assignments, you must do your assignments weekly. Right? I see Vivette is saying you're doing a wonderful job, sir. Well, thank you very much, Vivette. And thank you very much, Tracy Ann. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate the support, and I'm happy still celebrating their successes and so forth. One thing though, I must say, God has blessed CDP Lazarus Services over the years with 100% pass in human and social biology. So we know that you will be doing very well. And I want to big up Mr. Patrick Holness. If he watches this video, you will hear his name called. He was one of those champion teachers too for CDP Labs Edu Services. Now, for those persons on Zoom, so we're coming up, sorry, on YouTube. Oh, well, Vivette is saying it again. Vivette is saying it again. Students, just listen what Mr. Bernard say. I guarantee you will get a grade 1 and 2. Just do your assignments. She said she still have hers. Yes, Vivette, thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, Kimola, you jump on? All right, Kimola, jump on the YouTube too. Okay. All right, Kimola said she will. Okay. Now, oh, Kimola, talking about Kimola. Kimola, I wasn't the secret tonight. I think I was it last, but I was it again tonight. Now, Kimola is a sister of, Vivette still have our charts. Okay, Vivette, still have your charts. Very good. All right. So Vivette still has her charts. So you see, it works. The methodology works. And as Vivette mentioned charts, Kimola is there's evidence that her sister was in our program in 2018. Her sister came to CDP Labs in January 2018, got a grade 1 for human and social biology because she did everything that she was supposed to do. She did her charts, did her models, she did her presentations, and she got a solid grade 1. So I know that this is a
my help.
Your help. So you say the help part. Your help part.
Of course. We do half of the work, yeah.
You don't have to work. See, I'm going to see you on shovel now. So I say, you're a grade 1. Okay, so you're a grade 1. Well, she has the paper. You make sure you get the paper with the grade 1 too. All right. Okay. All right. So we know that if you are in good hands, give God thanks for that. And we are really grateful for the performances last year. Now, for those persons who are watching, oh, Vivette said you got a grade 2 with the help of Mr. Bernard. Okay, thank you, Vivette. Thank you, Vivette. Well, Vivette, you're selling the school now. Sell the school or sell Mr. Bernard, sell CDP Lazarus Services. And of course, we have a partner. We have another school partnering with CDP Lazarus Services, and that is Asana's tutoring services. And this is just for advertisement now. So those persons who want to do EDPM, POB, and accounts, you may go to the CDP Labs Edu Services website and sign up with the Asana's tutoring services. They are offering EDPM, excellent teacher, I must tell you, excellent teacher, right? And more caring than me. Right? I'm a miserable one. That person not miserable. All right, I'm the miserable one. Yes, come on, get results. Yeah? If you want to be on my right side, feed me with my assignments, feed me with my presentations, and I'll be a happy person. Otherwise, I'll be a miserable one. Right. So now, what we're doing at the YouTube next, we're moving towards streaming the rest of our programs on YouTube. And Vivette is giving some more information. Vivette is saying, sir, maybe they all think I'm young, but Vivette is 46 years old. Thank you very much for the testimony, Vivette. Thank you very much for the testimony. So a 46-year-old woman sat the HSB exam and got a grade 2. What say the young people? What say the young people? So Vivette is saying that she was 46 years old and got a grade 2. What say the young people? Right. Now, thank you very much, Vivette. So we're still celebrating. Still celebrating. Right? Now, for the YouTube persons, it's not every Thursday that we'll be streaming live. We'll be streaming live, yes, but we are asking that you make a small contribution. We'll be putting up that link on our YouTube, on our website. I try to get it up by tonight, tomorrow morning. They can sign up with us so that you can be able to visit the YouTube channel and still participate in the live sessions. We're going to be streaming private. So for you to be able to text senior information during this live, we'll be setting up a WhatsApp group, especially for you. Trisha says, very motivated by Vivette. Thank you for the testimony. Vivette, we have Triciana from Zoom is saying, listen to this, Vivette. Listen to this, Vivette. Listen to this. You have inspired someone. Triciana says, very motivated by Vivette. Thank you for that. Oh, Makeda jumping on the party. Very motivated by Vivette. Thank you for that testimony. It gives me hope. So Vivette, you have helped Triciana tonight. Thank you very much, Vivette. You have helped Triciana tonight. She says she's very inspired, very motivated by you. And she says, thank you for your testimony. It has given her hope. All right. So Vivette says, you're welcome, sir. Elaine and I are still celebrating. She has maths class tonight. That's why she's absent. Oh, she has maths class tonight. So why she don't come join us on Sunday? Tonight we have maths class on Sunday. So Makeda is in the building tonight. Makeda is in the building. Okay, good night, Makeda. Good night, Miss Maxwell. Makeda is in the building. All right. So they are still celebrating, and these are two of my senior students. They are celebrating still, and I'm still celebrating. It was a really good feat last year, right? Good numbers, good grades. So those persons who are watching live on YouTube, just know that we will be setting up an application for you to apply to get the email address for the YouTube lives every week so that you can join us there. And we're just going to be asking for a small contribution, very, very small contribution from you to get access to the class. So we will stream live twice to the public and twice privately, right? And Vivette is saying to you, Triciana, you're welcome, and she's happy to motivate you. All right, Triciana, that's what Vivette is saying. All right, so thank you, Vivette, and I thank you for passing on the message to Elaine for us as well. So, I see some persons jumping on to our stream. I don't know, Anatola. I don't know who's Anatola. We're gonna get off pretty soon now. All right, so look out for more information from our website. And for those persons who want to join CDP Labs Services, you may go to our website and apply for any other subject that you wish. And I said before, we are partnering with Asana tutoring services as well. So you can, if you want just to do EDPM, accounts, or POB, you are also being given assistance with SBAs as well. So feel free to join us. Join Asana tutoring services. And if you want to do the sciences and mathematics and English language, you can join CDP Labs Edu Services. Just go to our website, www.cdplabseduservices.com, and make your application right there. So it's good night from me. It's good night from me. Good night. Makeda, welcome. Makeda. Good night, Makeda. Good night, Makeda. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Okay, so you jump from YouTube to Zoom. Wow, that's nice. All right. So you join the ladies.
Sir.
You get up to the company. All right, very good, very good, very good. All right, so you have heard the testimony from two of our students, one from Barbados, got a grade 1, that's Beverly. And of course, you have heard from Vivette, who got a grade 2, who's age 46. And I'll be bringing an all-important guest as well, another important guest, one of these nights. She was also 43 years old when she got 4 out of 5 subjects in 2012, I think, or 11, with CDP Lazarus Services. So I'm telling you, to God be the glory, great things. And with that said, how can we end the class and not give God glory in song of praise? Let's look for a nice song of praise. So we're going to give God glory with this song, you know, like Kerosene. So what is Kerosene? We're in Kerosene now.
What a God who made the world, man and woman, boy and girl. What a God who knows my name. Though a sinner, he loves me the same. What a God concerned for me, the one who set me free. What a God who does impossible. Oh, what a God.
What a God who came to earth. In a manger was his birth. What a God, our pain he felt. In the garden as he knelt. What a God nailed to a tree for all sinners, you and me. What a God who loves eternally. Oh, what a God. What a God who never fails. I'm the head and not the tail. What a God who changes not, no matter what. What a God who transforms me, makes me what I ought to be. What a God who still does miracles. Oh, what a God. What a God. Oh, yes. What a God. Oh, yes. What a God. God who still does miracles. Oh, what.
Right, so that's it for tonight, and we just another bit of information from those persons on YouTube. We are hearing that Vivette said she got a grade 3 for English language, so she did those 2 subjects, and she got a grade 3. And I mean, that's very good, you know, very good to know that persons are still doing very well. And it says that age is just a number indeed, not just in relationships, but it's just a number. in academic performances. So it doesn't matter how old or how young you are, you can excel as long as you put your mind to it. You know, if I say I can, I will. That's an affirmation for third formers at Holy Trinity High School. If I say I can, I will. So it doesn't matter your age. And I see where Kimola is saying that my little sister will join the YouTube live stream. She said it's a nice class. Oh, Tara, thank you very much, Kimola. Tara, thank you very much. Right? So like the page, those who persons like it, thank you for liking it. And thank you for sharing the link. And look forward to go. We will streaming next week again. But as I said before, we want that you make a positive contribution. As a matter of fact, I will speak to the organizers. And Vivet is saying, I see the celebrations continues. Thanks again, Mr. Bernard. Really, really appreciate your class. And I thank you very much, Vivet, for really joining the class. I must say that you brought in other students from the same school, from Yvette's and Elaine's school, came in and joined us. Even the teacher himself came in, and tell him congratulations from me as well. And I really want to say to God be the glory. But we're asking for support for CDP Library Services. As I normally say to the students, that we do not have any private investors. Our investors are our students. They invest in us, we invest in them, right? So, okay, Vivette says, I'm linking some classmates to your channel. Thank you very much, Vivette. Keep linking them. All right, thank you very much. And thanks for those persons, those 2 persons who have subscribed to the channel tonight. Thank you very much. Well, it's bedtime. So, oh, so you're doing social studies now. Well, we have a student in house who wants to do social studies too. I don't know if you want to do it with us, but we will need maybe 2 more students to do social studies, and then we'll probably bring up the social studies class back in action. We do have social studies materials as well, if you so need that. All right, so keep doing your best, Vivette. Continue building yourself, and I wish you all the very best as well. And yes, I want to big up Reverend Adrian Ellis. That is what I was saying. Yes, tell him congratulations, Mr. Bernard. Tell him to give me a call, man. You have my number. Tell him to give me a call. All right, folks, you may leave tonight. I know if I continue to stay, I will never end tonight. So can't chat tonight, but definitely see you next week. Same place, same time. Pray for me as I pray for you. And of course, remember to do your assignments. It is key, and more key. That's it tonight from Mr. Bernard on CDP Labs Edu Services. I know he's a great HSB teacher as well. That's it for tonight. That's it. Make sure to do the assignments, folks. All right, so YouTube people, I'm leaving you tonight. I'm leaving now. I'm saying goodbye. I'm saying my goodbye now. So I will. Okay, so thank you very much, Yvette. Make sure you pass on the message to him. Thank you very much. So that's it for tonight. We're ending now. I am leaving now, and I'm leaving, and I'm leaving, and I'm leaving. All right, so that's it for tonight, folks. You may go now.
Good night, sir.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, good night as well to me. Yeah, all right. All right, goodbye. All right, so good night, everyone, and goodbye. That's it for us tonight. One.